And so joining me on today's panel, I have Marshall Shonai, who's an author, social activist, a music promoter. I also have Toneo Rutsito, who's chairperson of the Zimbabwe Online Content Creators and CEO of the Tech Magazine. And of course, the notorious, can I call you, I'm allowed to call you that. I'm allowed to call you the notorious,
the
music producer, the musician, the composer, the author, and of course the name behind the brand Monolio Studios. So firstly, maybe let's start off with what is digital content creation? Digital content.
It's exactly what we're doing right now. You see, like I've got my cell phone started new, and we are live and we're creating content. People are watching us live on Facebook and all over. This is it. I think it's just about creating content for your digital audiences. It could be very much different content, educational, entertainment, and anything. And this is what we do specifically as the Zimbabwe Online Content Creators. We are an association of online content creators. We just wake up each and every single day to give you exciting and interesting content. Just like now, you're live.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Yes, nice.
Hello, everybody. My name is Patience Musa. Anyway, so I want to hear from each of you how you guys contribute to the digital platform as far as content is concerned. Let's start with you, Marshall.
All right. Personally, I don't like, there's a word that I don't like. It's called blogger. I think it's one of the most abused words in our space. But my contribution, I'm mainly a music critic. I critique events, and I'm a history lover. So I dig deep into Zimbabwean musical history and just bring back some of those yesteryear hits, forgotten artists, and trivia and all that. So that's the kind of content that I create, around entertainment. And also, in my other role, my other head that I wear as a stage manager, I do talk a lot about.
And you do it so well.
Thank you very much, Patience. You're so kind. I talk about that as well. I think my goal and my aim is just to make sure that as an industry we improve, how we do things. So yeah, that's basically what I do around that. And my main platform of choice is Facebook. Why Facebook? Because it allows me to write. I'm an author, I'm a writer, so I write composition. And I find it fascinating and humbling that a lot of people actually take time.
Yeah, you write so well.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You hate the word blogger. I hate the word social media influencer.
Influencer, exactly.
Like every kid wants to be a social media influencer. Like, who are you going to influence? What do you know so much that you're going to influence people? But I don't know. Let me not judge. It's too soon to judge. All right, Tonderai, maybe you could tell us what you contribute.
So we contribute a lot of content, specifically from my side. I don't know why he hates blogger, because I'm a blogger.
No, I think it's around the abuse.
The abuse of the word, yeah. So you could call us bloggers, because predominantly we push content which people read. So when you're blogging, you're basically doing your write-ups where people are going to be reading and researching and all that. So we've got website that we do. Of course, there's a difference between a website and a blog, and this is not a technical show. So I'll just call myself a blogger, just for simplicity. But yeah, I understand the word is also abused. So we push a lot of content that people can read via the website. But also, because I also run an online television, I also attend his shows. If he recognizes me, he gives me a very good spot to actually take and record. If he's in a good mood, he says, I know this guy.
I think we're going to talk about that, because we've got so many content creators, 15 people want to be on the stage.
Yeah. So it depends. Yeah. If you find him on a very good day, it's like, okay, I got you. But if he's in a bad mood, it's like, you see, when he comes from him, it's gone, it's dusted, because he's the only reason why you're going to have a good shot. You see, because he gets to give you a very good spot, and you get to nicely shoot and all that. So we do content creation. It could be arts, entertainment, social issues, political events, and all that. This is what we do as various online content creators, because I run an online TV. So I'm out there for news, what's happening, what's breaking, what's going on, so that we continuously always update people. So that's what TechMag TV, the online platform that I run, usually does. I think it's half the time live and online and bringing new content as it happens. So that's what we do as content creators.
And Mr. Mukundu, your contribution to the internet?
Okay, with me it all started when I checked online, but not there was no content, this Zimbabwean music on an academic tip, because it doesn't go very local. They've got my tutorials, Rumba from DRC, they've got tutorials. Then I checked online, and one thing I saw somebody from the States, I did this Zimbabwean guitar series. Then I said to myself, instead of popota, we are the ones who are supposed to correct that. So I post my tutorials is Zimbabwean guitar and academic side and the practical side. Then from there, people started sending my requests. Tsananguru about Dembo, Tsananguru about Thomas Mafumo, guitar record Thomas Mafumo, Tsananguru about this. And then people started sending me my videos. Guitars. So the first one that I did, I think, was it 2020 time of COVID? Yeah. Panimpa aita song song yambo trend man five emoji. Saka aita vision yake sungura so. So zinoni tisiro guitar, then banesa guitar, and then by a trend aesthetic. So from that time, people started sending videos. So every 2-3 days, I'm going to send my videos of that type. And then I'm sort of pay the educational material and posters as well.
So if an artist is performing at a venue, maybe it's even theater, whatever it is, it's a performance of some sort. Who owns the content? Who owns the content? Because remember, this artist, whatever, or this theater company, they're performing at a venue, right? They're performing at a venue. Maybe there's a promoter who's put together this entire show, and the artists themselves, or the people who are there capturing the performance. Who owns the content?
The fact that you're holding a camera doesn't mean you own the content. You'll be together. Yeah, but Mariako did not include the permission to shoot. Yeah.
Permission, but the rights.
Yeah, the rights as well.
The work that is happening.
Yeah.
Whoever, I think content that is being performed on stage belongs mainly to two people counting coming there. The artist performing, and also the people organizing, put together the show. They own the content, and but it is music mostly. The artist owns the rights and that content, because it's their creative work. They've spent time rehearsing and even recording. So when you just come in there with your phone and take a performance, yeah.
I appreciate the issues around copyright, that these guys, they want to own their content because they're performing and they've set up the stage and everything else. But I don't know why it becomes a very big issue if it's going to be a non-persona or a media house taking the content. If it's somebody else just taking and shooting for their Instagram or for their Twitter account, it's not even an issue. I know. I think I should mention the name because it's not in the public domain. Yeah, it's not because let me just mention. So Japanese says, if you guys are going to be coming in and using your cell phones, we don't have an issue with that. But if you guys are going to be coming, let's come and renew the home and watching. Something like that, you know what I mean? So that's the point. So I would argue from a technical perspective that says, well, if it's about rights, then it has to be about rights, exclusive rights. So rights cannot be determined by the gadget that you're going to be using to then check this content. I think it just becomes unfair to want to be content creators, because they're trying to create content for their platforms and everything else. And I understand as well that if you're going to be taking the whole show and then you make it yours, we are also stealing creativity from the owners of the show. Maybe a glimpse and this and that. I think it's only acceptable. There's something that they call fair usage policy. Yeah, so I think that borders along a fair usage policy, whereby certain creatives and content creators and even show managers should then say, you know what, because the place it was just a bit and bits and a glimpse of this, because each and every single day you're an art journalist or media personnel or a TV, you're there for the content. So if you're then going to be denied, you have access to the same content, it renders you useless, and it defeats the whole purpose of an entertainment online platform to then be there.
But aren't you supposed to be curating your own content really most of the time?
Yeah, most of the time, definitely you should. Like, for example, this is a show, then it becomes a show, something like that. but it's not always your show that you're always going to be running. Neither are you always going to be depending on always taking other people's shows. No, but I'm saying as and when national or events or shows of national interest, then they break, you need to also to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't want to be then found wanting. You'll be like, okay, fine. For example, that was a Japanese album launch, and then you're a content creator. You need to be there. Okay, guys, this is how it happened in 15 or in 30 seconds or in 2 minutes, something like that. But then I understand when you have the whole show, you're also now stealing creativity and the whole energy from the organizers. I think it borders around the fair usage policy. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
can I come in there?
All right. Yes.
Okay. I think that is where the whole issue is. I work with a lot of artists, and I think I've been privileged enough for the past couple of years to work with some of the biggest names in our nation, some international artists who have come through as well. What the problem then becomes is that everyone with internet connectivity and a phone can automatically become a content creator. But they
become journalists.
They become journalists, yes. Mm. But now the issue now becomes what sort of length are we talking about, right? I've been to places where I've seen Japanese are going on the stage at 6 p.m. and getting off at 9 p.m. That's 3 hours, right? So if somebody's going to be constantly holding a camera, and then you have that whole footage on YouTube, right? Basically, you've taken Japanese work and you've owned it, because I mean you can monetize your channel and you can start earning from that, from such footage. So I think if you're going to talk about reporting and fair usage, I think if you want to show a highlights reel of this is what happened, sometimes some people remove the music and then just play something else, and then that is actually where the issue is that there are so many platforms, especially on YouTube, that have whole performances. You see someone, they've got 50 minutes, they've got 30 minutes of a performance, a lot goes into it. The promoter has paid the artist to perform, right? The artist has done his work in as far as preparations, creating his music, and then some of us come in with the stage design, the stage work. We've built all this. Sometimes we actually put up a stage that is worth 40,000.
But is it fair? Is it fair then to say content creators should be charged because are they also not marketing the artist? Because let's not forget, for the artists also go to newspapers. Like I see an anime newspaper, when you go and you get interviewed by a newspaper, and then you give them content for their newspaper. They're marketing you, but they're also selling the newspapers and making money from it. So why aren't we charging newspapers if we're going to start charging content, creators?
One thing we must take note of in a misrepresentation was, for example, kwedu music isusu ukaskotora nefone munhu akaona pafacebook page pako sound iri kukepchwa nemicrophone pafone anotofunga ndo sound yanga itoripo. I'm sure they've seen a number of times uchinzwa munhu aitaura kuti the sound is bad, ari kutojudge nesound yari kunzwa pafone, but haisiriyo sound yanga ichibuda, yato sound iri kurepresentwa nefone yake. So that's why tinoti ma-live performances mazhinji kana maartist achida kuita vachida kuisa ma-shows avo pa-online kana kutengesa, zvinoenda through a process inonzi post-production. I'm sure you know it. Yekuti you go back in the studio, monocorrect mistakes, and then the music is properly mixed for my medium like my radio and so forth. Then you know it's edited, yobuda yakanatsonaka, you represent the artist zvakanaka rather than kuuya nekafoni kambudzi wotora paibuda zvinhu zviri kuzhezhera. So it's misrepresentation.
So what are you saying, Mora? Are you saying that when we attend my shows, ticket no panogara ranyorwa kunzizo no
pane inoitwa nemacomedians ekustates ekuti muchitopinda vana Dave Chappelle vaya muchitopinda panotone place yekuti munondosiya mafoni motopinda musina mafoni wana bhozi vanotya nyaya yemisrepresentation ende kucomedy zvitori wese ndezvekuti joke rikataurwa once harichatonakidza. Ukapinda nefoni yako ushuta joke richitaurwa rikazotaurwa zvasiyana nemusic. Zvasiyana nemusic, you can play a song kana iri hit song over and over and over again, but joke once rangobuda chete ukangoriseka ka1 chete hauchadi kuriseka futi. So pane issue wombeni inyaya misrepresentation kuti mafoni ese sangotora, there's a lot of misrepresentation.
All right. Okay, so that's for the audience and varima experts vacho anatoneo aho vetizo vanonatonzwisisa kuti angle vanonatotoro vanonatono editor zvakanaka. What's wrong with that?
I think kuti pakaita communication between content creator nevaridzi vemutambo, then kana iri maissues esound, kuti torai sound pakati kana tichazopai sound, things like that, I think zvinoshanda mushe rather than kuti munhu ungosikotora ega sekutaurwa namboita paipa sound yobuda ichizhezhera.
But we've seen it all over the world. We've seen it all over the world that audience is allowed to capture these.
I think zvinodependa naartist. Pana umwe asingade like apa ndatopa example yevamwe vanotaura kuti mutopinda muchisa.
But that's comedy and this guy.
Even kumusic check pana umwe asingade.
These days,
pana umwe asingade.
some artists are really,
Plus pana umwe asinganatsogona kuimba, you really need post production.
original capture.
Yeah, that is zvinatsonotsetswa zvamustudio first. Yeah.
Especially if it is a live recording that is going to be packaged as a DVD or just content that's going to go on YouTube, which then goes through post-production. I think we mentioned we're going to refer mainly to Japres as one of the biggest artists in the nation. When
He mentioned that he was doing his album launch. So sometimes before, as an artist, before you package your work correctly, before you put it up for consumption correctly, it is already available and it doesn't have the quality, the representation that you want.
Oh, but when people want the quality and the representation,
yeah, they can do that. But one thing that we need to zero in on patients is the monetary aspect, where somebody has got a monetized YouTube channel and they're earning from it for just holding a camera.
All right. Okay, I hear you. 6 minutes to 8 is our time. We're running out of time here on my station, your station, ZiFM Stereo, talking about content creators, artists, music promoters, and everybody in between. And of course, the thin line there between the plagiarism. Now, we did have a conversation off air to do with plagiarism, something that people don't know. A lot of the time, so that people get more likes. Toneo ukaposta something because chichaita likes akawanda straight uvanda nochiposta inini ndochita kunge changu. What has that happened to you guys and your content, and how do you handle that?
On my side zvinoitika nevakandivenga bhozi ndinoona dedicated haters vari dedicated yokuti I actually admire dedication yavo kuti amusha kuti dai vaishandisa dedication yavo kutsvaga mari kavaita mari.
he's got some well-known
they're very dedicated. So what they do is, most of the subs are not post up. One post up and then they rewrite what you need to come and.
What if I say we go to check the same content they say? For example, today I came across a very nice video that you did. It was an independence. It was a war song. It was very nicely done. I'm like, wow, it was perfectly done. I saw you hitting the guitar and all that. I'm like, this is the wow, right?
But I hate plagiarism because so then if you're gonna talk plagiarism and say
I think my copyright laws are redefined as well, because every time I come new changes. Copyright conventions.
As a content creator, tech Zim and all of that, Toneo, have you ever had to deal with issues to do with plagiarism of your own posts or being accused of plagiarism?
Well, I think maybe because we are very much awakened to this issue, as and when we feel like there's certain content that we need to reuse for whatever purpose, we always credit. So credit source says ABC. I think like they were actually a post that we did, and we actually credited to Zim Life, which was a post that they've made. So I think it's only ethical to do that because you're also acknowledging the work and the effort that the certain player has done.
Because you're a journalist.
Yes.
You're a journalist.
Yeah.
A lot of the people we just have gadgets.
Yeah.
But they don't know the ethics.
Yeah, exactly, and they just keep doing this. I think it's also bad. Where it's very bad is at a point whereby you've done a lot of work into a certain shooting that you've done, and then somebody else with a much more bigger social media account
know, right?
takes that content, puts it on his account, does not give credit to you, and then he starts to trend, and
then everybody thinks that they're the
his content. And the worst case is, and some people are so daring to a point that they even put their logo on your content. Yes. So when that then happens, I think I'll speak from an association that we have, because we're an association of ethical, credible online content creators who are predominantly journalists and ethical content creators. So when such things happen, there are actually certain ways come and resolve such problems. And the easiest ones that you can easily do is just give a call to the person. Please give credit to that post. If that doesn't happen, or delete it. Yeah, or put it down. And obviously the second, which is the worst, which usually happens on YouTube when people probably maybe steal your content, they make it yours. Like this video, I like this so much. I had to actually call him, if I need to use it on my platform. If that doesn't happen, you can actually do a YouTube strike that claims your content. It says, this is my content, it's my original artwork, it was stolen from me, and I want this to be taken down from this platform. So when you do that, it actually hurts the person the most, and it protects you better. Why? Because the strike will then, if you get 3 strikes, your YouTube page is gone and it's closed. And if you get a single strike, you will not be allowed to post any more content the same way. For example, let's say I've taken his content maybe from a live show and I've put mine using a live broadcast or an upload. I'm blocked from uploading any other content for the next 3 months up until I correct that issue. So that is much more punitive, and people need to be educated on that. So as long as you can prove and say, this is my content, it was stolen from me originally, and then someone needs to actually do something to make sure they pay for that. If they fail to do that, also I think locally we've done some local remedies. We actually work, which is not maybe video related. If it's going to be like an artist or a picture, I think these are media related issues. We've got the VMCZ where we can do back and forth and we speak about these issues. Then we have internal mechanisms to actually try and see how best we can solve this.
Thank you very much. I really wish we could continue, but we've run out of time. I actually had a question for you, Marshall, because as a person who manages the stage, maybe you could just really give it to us really quick. You manage stages, and you have to deal with content creators. How do you manage this? Do you have any control of it? Do you guys get the content? Do you get access to the content as well?
Okay, so quickly, the 2 things. The artist can say exclusively they want their people to shoot the show, or if it is just a social show, we try and give every journalist available accredited, just to come through and a few minutes, check something and get off the stage, because we want people to concentrate mainly on the performance.
We'll have continue this conversation another time, but that's all I have for you this week on Backstage. Thank you very much to Mono Mukundu, to Toneo Rutsito, as well as Marshall Shanai for coming through. And so there's a lot more to enjoy here on my station, your station, ZiFM Stereo. But before we go, you guys give us your social media handles real quick.
Okay, Angu is Angun's Clive Monomukundu. All of them, they've got the same profile picture, same name.
Okay, my handles is Toneo 1ST, Toneo the First, and also Techmec TV, the media house that I represent. And Zok, of course, Zimbabwe Online Content Creator, Zok, ZW.
For me, it's Marshall Shonai across all social media networks and like in Koma Mono.
This is your evening and your week. You go ahead and claim it, you take it, you own it, and you rock.